We need to talk about something that's, well, it's pretty terrifying. It's this new reality where artificial intelligence isn't just some cool tech toy, it's being used as a weapon against kids. And no, this isn't a movie plot. It is happening right now in schools, on social media, and it's creating these absolute nightmares that the adults in the room are struggling to even understand, let alone fix. So let's get into it. How did we get here, and why is this a crisis that's so much bigger than just one school?
This quote from a father in Louisiana, it just says it all, doesn't it? It perfectly captures how his 13-year-old daughter got hit 3 times. First, by the horrifying fake images. Second, by a school that basically told her they didn't believe her. And finally, by a system that punished her when she finally broke.
So let's go to 6th Ward Middle School in Lafourche Parish, Louisiana. This is where the story starts. For one 8th grade girl, what began as whispers and rumors just exploded into this relentless digital attack that would push her, her family, and the entire school system to the brink. Okay, so here's how this nightmare unfolded. The technology itself was actually part of the problem. You've got these fake AI-generated nude photos spreading like wildfire on Snapchat, an app where everything is designed to disappear. So you can see the issue, right? When the girls did the right thing and reported it, the adults couldn't find any proof. The pictures were gone, and because they couldn't see the evidence, the principal just wrote the whole thing off as hearsay and rumors. But for those girls, it was anything but. The tech that makes this possible is often called a Nudify app. And what's so chilling is how simple it is. You can take a totally normal photo, from Instagram or wherever, run it through an AI, and in seconds, it spits out a fake nude that looks terrifyingly real. You don't need to be a hacker or a tech genius anymore. It's out there, it's accessible, and that's exactly what makes it so incredibly dangerous.
So just try to put yourself in her shoes for a second. You're 13 years old. Kids are mocking you, teasing you constantly about these horrible images of your own body that aren't even real. You go to the adults who are supposed to keep you safe, and they don't believe you. You must feel completely and utterly alone. And that's really the heart of the issue here. The kids are using this brand new technology to hurt each other, and the adults in charge are just totally unprepared.
All right, so things are already bad, but this is where it all boils over. This is the moment where a desperate plea for help, after being ignored all day, just explodes, and the consequences are devastating, not for the bullies, but for the victim herself. You have to look at this timeline. It's just awful. At 7 a.m., first thing in the morning, they go for help. All morning long, they're told it's just rumors. In the afternoon, she asks to call her dad, a simple request, and they tell her no. So by 2:15 p.m., after a full day of this torment, she gets on the bus and sees a boy showing the fake pictures to his friend. And she just snaps. A fight starts, and guess who gets removed from school? Her. It wasn't until 3 weeks later that law enforcement even charged one of the boys who was spreading the pictures. 3 weeks. And the difference between the two responses here is, well, it's staggering. Look at this. On one side, you have the school's action. They expelled the victim for more than 10 weeks and shipped her off to an alternative school. On the other side, you have law enforcement. They actually investigated the crime. They ended up charging 2 boys, and they filed 0 charges against the girl. Why? Because they looked at the totality of the circumstances. So how did the school explain this? Well, this was the superintendent's justification. While the police saw a victim who was pushed past her breaking point, the school district just saw a kid who got in a fight. This quote really tells you everything you need to know about their perspective. They felt her reaction on the bus, no matter what led up to it, made her just as guilty. So, of course, this leads to the next big question. What is this technology that's making this kind of abuse so incredibly easy? Because this problem is so much bigger than just one middle school in Louisiana. We need to look at the AI tool that's at the center of not just this story, but a lot of similar ones. The AI is called Grok. It's a chatbot from Elon Musk's company xAI, and you can find it right inside the social media platform X. And the thing is, this incident in Louisiana, it's not a bug. It's not some weird one-off event. It's actually part of a much, much bigger pattern of pretty serious safety failures. I mean, just look at this track record. This is just a sample of the documented problems. Grok has been used to create fake explicit images of a 14-year-old actress and other women. It's pushed out misinformation, wild conspiracy theories, even hateful anti-Semitic stuff. And here's the kicker. By creating these images of kids, the AI is constantly and repeatedly breaking its own rules, its own terms of service. And what happens when journalists from major outlets like the BBC try to ask the company about these very serious issues? What kind of thoughtful response do they get? This, a two-word auto-reply: legacy media lies. It's not just a no comment, it's a complete and total dismissal. So what we're seeing here is a systemic failure, right? A total breakdown. When the technology, the schools, and the laws are all a step behind, it brings us to the central crisis. Who is actually responsible for protecting kids from this stuff? Who's in charge? This table right here, it shows you the problem perfectly. It's an accountability gap. You've got the school district. They have protocols, sure, but their cyberbullying curriculum was from 2018. That's ancient history in tech. And their solution was to expel the victim. Then you have xAI, the tech company. They have a policy against this exact thing, but their product does it anyway, over and over. And finally, you have the lawmakers. They're trying, they're passing new laws, but the legal system is just always playing catch up to tech that changes by the day. And it turns out, this isn't just one school's bad call. According to this expert from the Cyberbullying Research Center, this is happening everywhere. He says that most schools are basically just sticking their heads in the sand, crossing their fingers, and hoping this problem doesn't show up at their door. But it's already here. So, where do we possibly go from here? It really feels like we're in this frantic race against technology, where all of our social rules and our laws are just getting left in the dust by innovation that can be used to cause so much pain.
And let's not lose sight of the real person at the center of this, the human cost. After her family appealed, the 13-year-old girl was finally allowed back into her school. But the punishment didn't just disappear. She was put on probation, which meant no extracurricular activities. She missed basketball tryouts. That chance to play on the team, gone. These are the real, lasting consequences for a kid who is victimized not once, but twice.
And so we end up here with this incredibly urgent question. AI can create a weapon of social destruction in a matter of seconds. And when our schools, our laws, and the tech companies themselves all fail to keep up, who is left to protect our children?